One of the many questions I regularly get from my private clients on our discovery calls or on listing walkthroughs is, should I stage my home before putting it on the market? And that is exactly what we are going to cover in today's video. In this comprehensive guide, we dive into the world of home staging and how it can significantly boost your home's appeal and ultimately selling price in this competitive real estate market. My name is Christian Harris. I run the C-Town team here in Seattle, and I'm here to answer that question for you today. In this video, we're going to cover 5 main topics that relate to the benefits of staging your home before you sell. Broken down, that's going to be the benefits of staging your home, the key staging tips, common staging mistakes, do-it-yourself staging versus professional staging, and virtual staging. So let's get into the first one, the benefits of staging your home. Discover the powerful impact that a well-staged home can have on potential buyers. Staging can help your home stand out, create a lasting impression, and even lead to higher offers. Staging is about showcasing an engaging, move-in-ready home that creates an emotional connection with the buyer. According to the 2021 research report on home staging, 82% of buyers agents said staging helped their clients visualize the property as their home. Staging the living room was found to be the most important for buyers, 39%, followed by staging the primary bedroom, 36%, and staging the kitchen, 30%. 20% of buyers agents said that staging a home increased the dollar value offered between 1 and 5%, compared to other similar homes on the market that were not staged. So here in Seattle, selling your house for 1 to 5% more because you staged it will not only cover the hard cost of staging your house, but that's tens of thousands of dollars more in sale price versus not staging the house. So some key staging tips. With staging, you minimize the negatives and accentuate the positives of a property to make the best impression. Start by decluttering and depersonalizing to remove any potential distractions. Remember, the key is to create a welcome environment where the buyer can imagine themselves living there. If necessary, add a coat of neutral wall color to brighten space, remove dated window treatments, and strategically arrange furniture and remove bulky pieces. These simple updates will help play up the home's unique features and increase the perceived value and increase the first impressions when they walk into the property. More than a quarter of buyers are more willing to overlook property faults if a home is staged, according to NAR's 2021 profile of home staging. Staging helps buyers visualize a vacant home. There's no question that a dark, empty property will not get the same attention as one filled with on-trend, engaging furnishings and accessories. Not only does it instantly help buyers visualize their furniture in the space and how it will match their lifestyle, but it also creates a more spacious and inviting room. So let's get into the next section, which is avoiding some common staging mistakes. Avoid these staging pitfalls that can turn buyers away. I'm going to go over 8 common staging errors homeowners make and how to sidestep them to ensure your home shines. So mistake number 1, you ask what is trending. So while you want to impress your buyers, reading up on the most popular design styles or getting ideas from Pinterest or Instagram is not the way to do it. You don't want to hire a personal designer to match your taste. You want to stage the house to appeal to the masses by giving it just enough personality without pigeonholing it into a specific aesthetic, which would risk turning people off. Mistake number 2, neutral overload. You don't want everything the same color and bland and boring. Yes, you want to make your home feel light and airy, somewhat neutral when staging, but you don't want to go so far as to have your home appear bland, boring, and sterile, making your home feel like it lacks personality and life. A general rule of thumb is to leave the furniture neutral and bring in color with rugs, pillows, and throw blankets. And if you have high ceilings and more space, you may be able to even get away with an accent wall. Mistake number 3, years old paint. A fresh coat of interior paint is one of the best and most cost-effective ways to freshen up a home. It's going to create the look and smell of a new home that is going to feel fresh to buyers. Mistake number 4, rooms that feel like dungeons. Getting the light right is a big deal for how a home will feel. Take down heavy or dark colored window treatments and replace them with light translucent options. Let in that natural light. If a room does not have enough natural light or built-in lighting, add lamps. And ideally, you want to use cool white or warm white LED lights. The ideal color for light bulbs is said to be 3000K, which can be found on the box, and try to make sure all the bulbs in your house match, so there isn't a different feel or color when you go from room to room, with some having more yellow light and others having brighter white. Before I finish up the most common mistakes that you want to avoid when staging, if you find this video helpful, I would appreciate a thumbs up, leave a comment, ask your questions. I'm always happy to help. And since you're watching this video, I'm guessing that you're thinking about selling your house, so I would love to offer you my free home seller's guide, which is available at the link below in the description. Obviously, if you're in the Seattle area, I would love to help you. If you're outside the area, I would love to refer an amazing real estate agent to you. You can also schedule a free and quick consultation with me, and I'm happy to recommend an amazing agent in your area. I want to make sure that you are taken care of. All right, so getting back into mistakes when staging, mistake number 5, poor furniture placement. We tend to put couches and chairs up against walls, but look at any room you admire on Pinterest. Notice how the furniture sits a few feet from the walls to give way to big windows and natural light and to create walkways. Here are a few steps to playing with furniture arrangements. Start with a rug in the center of your room to define the space. Experiment with furniture arrangements around that to create conversation areas. Consider where your agent will stand to shoot your listing photos. Make sure the furniture won't hog the photo at those angles. Consider how people will move through your space during a showing or open house. Remove chairs or other large pieces that disrupt that flow. I know it's a different way of thinking about how to arrange your furniture. When you live in the house, you tend to set it up a certain way, but think about it a little differently as you're getting ready to show the house. It's gonna feel a little different. And that kind of leads into mistake number 6. That big comfy couch. Large furniture and too much furniture will make your room feel small. Consider getting rid of it and replacing it with something smaller. Mistake number 7, neglecting the outdoors. You only have one chance to make a great first impression, and your home's curb appeal, that impression people get when they first drive up and they're standing on the curb looking at your house, that first impression is going to make a big impact. A lot of people are going to perceive that if your yard is not kept up, or if it's kind of bland on the outside, that maybe your home isn't kept up either. So obviously maintaining your yard, like cutting the grass and weeding your yard, is important, but also consider something like setting up a bistro table and chairs with a cute centerpiece. Use string lights to define cozy sitting areas, and you can even top potted plants with cedar bark to make them more aesthetically pleasing. Mistake number 8, you staged, but you didn't clean. I'd recommend hiring this out as well, especially if your house will be vacant before staging is installed. Pay a professional cleaning company to do a move-out cleaning, is what we call them. So a move-out cleaning is much more thorough cleaning, where they get inside all the cabinets and they dust on top of things. It's a much more thorough cleaning job than if you live there with all of your stuff. And absolutely do not forget to have your windows cleaned inside and out. It makes a huge difference. If sunlight's coming through and people see streaks and fingerprints on your windows, it's a big turnoff. So moving right from our mistakes that you want to avoid when staging, we're going to move right into the topic of do-it-yourself staging versus professional staging. So weigh the pros and cons of staging your home yourself versus bringing in a professional. Unless you are a professional home decorator, I'd recommend hiring this out. When you look at the average cost of a professional stager, it ends up only being about 1% of the total sale price. And about 75% of sellers saw a return on investment, or ROI, of 5% to 15% over asking price. That's a big upside. So according to data from the Real Estate Staging Association, RESA, and a recent survey from the International Association of Home Staging Professionals, shows that staging helps sell homes 3 to 30 times faster than non-stage competition. And in my experience, this is absolutely true. I will always encourage my clients to stage their homes. And I found this to be fascinating. In my research, I found this one to be eye-opening. So pay attention to this. For sellers who decide not to stage, the IAHSP survey also shows that the average price reduction on a home was 5 to 20 times more than what the staging investment would have been. So basically, if you decide not to stage and your home doesn't sell the price that you want it to, that price reduction in order to get a buyer who's willing to buy your house, that price reduction is way more. You're leaving way more money on the table than if you just paid the equivalent of 1% of your sale price to have the house staged. So it's something to consider if you're thinking, well, I don't know if I want to spend the money. Well, it's better to spend that 1% up front to stage the house than to have to do a price reduction and lose 10 or 15%. And the last section to cover is virtual staging. So this has become more popular recently, 1, because it's affordable, and 2, because of the technology these days, it's almost indistinguishable in pictures as to if a house is actually staged, physically staged, or if it's virtually staged. So if you understand, the value of staging your home and those impressions and how it can make listing photos look, but you don't have the money or other reasons, or maybe you're gonna live in the property and so it's not practical to have it staged, you could look at something like virtual staging. Hopefully your real estate agent is partnered with a good virtual staging company. Typically it's $20 to $30 per photo to have it virtually staged, and if you get a good company, it looks really amazing. The downside of virtual staging is you usually want to have some sort of disclosure in the listing saying the house is virtually staged, because what you don't want is from a buyer to be impressed and want to see a property that has amazing staging and looks great online, but then they get there and it's empty. They can be very disappointed if they don't understand that it's virtually staged. You took a photo, had it photoshopped with amazing furniture and art and rugs and that kind of stuff, but when they walk into the house, it's empty and bare. So that's the downside of virtual staging, but it could be a good compromise, if you don't have that full money, but you still want the photos to look really good. But you still want your listing photos to pop and get attention online. You do want to have that disclosed because, if buyers don't understand that, they could be disappointed. So I hope this video on staging your home has been helpful, really trying to show the benefits of staging because it's a key piece in presenting your home's best foot forward and getting it sold. If you have any specific questions about staging, I mean, I'm not an expert, but I do know several stagers. Like I said, we provide staging for all of our listings here in Seattle because I believe in it that much. But if you have any specific questions about your situation, my contact info is in the description below and I would love to help you. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video.